So you bring up some interesting points, and I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer, but here's my perspective. I can see both sides, and me personally, as someone on a very minor scale has had to lead people or be the boss of someone. As you know, I used to own a couple coffee shops. And at Managing Madrid, I have to deal with various writers coming and going and stuff like that. It was a front for my drug operation, as Diego was gesturing. So
no, I was saying coffee shops for me mean in Holland, coffee shops are places.
Oh, that kind of coffee shop. Yeah. No, unfortunately, at that time, I don't think it was legal in Canada. So if we were to do it again, we'd have a churros cafe with lots of all that stuff. Yeah. Diego would bring that part of it. It'd be the yin and the yang. So I've always been of the philosophy that if you want to go. That's always been my mindset. I never would want to force anyone to be somewhere where they don't want it. And I apply that in my life too, basically, whether it's friends, family, any kind of relationship, you're out, cool. That's cool. I have no beef with that. Life is too short, and then life can be too much fun to worry about these things. You go on your path, and I have no desire to try to keep you. If you want to stick around, great.
What did we say with Messi, Kian? I think were in agreement that, hey, when he handed in the burofax, that Bartomeu, the right thing would have been to sell him off. He's done his time. We would have still made some money.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's an interesting parallel here. You and I both agreed that cashing in on Messi a year prior, or whenever it was, would have been, in hindsight, the smartest thing to do. Even though it sounds crazy at the time to sell your best player of all time, in hindsight, that would have been the right move, because now you lost him for free, and you could have got that would have been a world record transfer fee right there in your lap. And then you don't think? What was his release clause,
They were talking
Diego?
about 100. No, his release clause was insane, but you were talking about maybe getting 100 million. At the time, the figures were not as astronomical as, say, an Mbappe.
I'm going back I think 3 years though.
Oh, okay. I'm talking burofax, so his last year.
Right. So that was the year where he announced publicly he wanted to leave, but then he ended up staying. Right. Yeah. So whatever the fee would have been, it would have made sense for Barca regardless. So that's a different point. But
exactly, yes. Right.
But the point about Messi that's interesting that I think can be applied here is that Bayern, if I had to guess, and I don't have any inside information obviously, and I could be 100% wrong, but if I had to guess, I think Lewandowski will stay with Bayern next year. And the reason why I think is that Bayern have always been the type of club that take contracts pretty seriously, and they know Barcelona are not exactly PSG with their finances. They know that they can squeeze Barca, and if they can't get the money, and they know they can't. There's no one. It's de facto 100% correct that they are not going to get anyone that would be as good as Lewandowski now if they were to sell him. So why do it? And as we know how fast football moves, when Messi wanted to leave, publicly stated, and they ended up keeping him, no one remembered it. Messi's scoring goals. The Camp Nou was celebrating his goals. And I think the same thing will happen with Bayern and Lewandowski. They'll just keep him. He'll mope around for a little bit, but score 50 goals, and the fans will cheer him, and then he'll leave next summer. Is what I like. But Diego, I'd like to read these quotes out loud, because I didn't think I did them justice earlier in the podcast. But these quotes a little bit are crazy to me from Lewandowski, and I'm a little bit surprised, because if you look at the general narrative of what fans think, a lot of them are he's right, they shouldn't hold him prisoner. But what he's saying is, to me, ridiculous. So here's the quotes. Mm-hmm. Quote, "I just want to leave Bayern. Loyalty and respect are more important than the work. The best thing to do is find a solution together. They didn't want to listen to me until the end. Something died inside of me, and it's impossible to get over that. Even if you want to be professional, you can't make up for it. During so many years at the club, I was always ready, available, despite injuries and the pain. I gave my best. I think the best thing to do is to find a solution for both sides, and not to look for a one-sided decision. I'm not looking for a unilateral solution. That makes no sense, not after so much time. After such a successful era and with my will and support. What kind of player will want to go to Bayern knowing that something like this could happen to them? Where are the loyalty and respect then? I was always ready. I spent 8 nice years here. I met wonderful people, and I would like it to stay that way in my mind. End quote. What he's saying here to me is over the top, because he's talking about loyalty and respect and finding solutions. First of all, finding a solution for both sides is impossible. The only one who wins here is Lewandowski. There's no way that Bayern have a solution here that there's no win-win. He's asking for a win-win, which is impossible because Bayern are not going to win from losing him at all. And he's talking about respect and loyalty. Like, dude, on the last year of your contract, you're gonna go. You're putting your club in a tough spot. And I'm the last person to defend Bayern because Hunis and all these guys, they say some of the most annoying, over-the-top aggressive stuff ever. So I don't want to defend them either. But I just think that I do think Lewandowski is being a little bit unreasonable here. That's just my 2 cents. And I don't care what happens, by the way. I just don't care. But this is just my opinion.